Hey, what's going on, guys? Sri Kanase here, and today we're going to be talking about how much you should be paying your Instagram influencers and what is the right amount to pay based on the amount of followers and engagement rate. So, like always, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and join our growing family. We're growing extremely fast, and let's jump right into it. So, over time, after having contacted hundreds and probably even thousands of influencers, I have found out a general strategy for the payment that you should be paying these influencers. These payment ranges can be different and vary based on the niche you're in, because some influencers for certain niches that I've noticed charge more than others. So again, this isn't a strict layout that you should definitely follow, but you should be looking around these prices and trying to aim towards getting the influencers to come down within this price range. But again, if you personally think that the influencer page has potential, then by all means, you can go over or under these price ranges. But let's start with our very first price range, which is for Instagram pages with 50k followers or less. Now, I've noticed that the best amount to pay for such pages with less than 50,000 followers is $1 minimum to $10 maximum. And even for these pages, $10 maximum is only for crazy high engagement rate, which is over 5%. If you haven't already watched my videos on Instagram influencers, where I go in depth on how to create ads and what metrics you should look out for, be sure to hop onto my channel and watch those videos, because there's a specific way that I find out the engagement rate for these pages. But coming back to this topic, for 50k or less, always try to aim at $10 maximum that you want to pay, because these pages honestly don't have that many engaged followers. I have been in contact with some pages that have got me a lot of sales which were under 50k followers, but for the majority you should be aiming at $10 or less for 12-hour posts only. And now I emphasize this a lot, but $24 posts are basically useless, because after a certain amount of time your post starts to go lower and lower on the Instagram newsfeed for all of the followers. So the best time that I noticed after testing out on all times, I noticed that 12 hours or less have the most impact as for the sales. Anything above 12 hours, it just doesn't get as much sales anymore, if any at all. In fact, I have got the most sales from any Instagram page in less than the first hour that I post the ad. So definitely aim for 12 hours or less. And these prices again refer to the 12-hour value. So after the 50k follower, the next price range is 50,000 followers to 200,000. And in this price range, you should be aiming at around $10 minimum to $30 maximum. This is when the Instagram influencer pages start to get highly engaged and begin to have more engaged followers. So to have it more beneficial for you, you should be aiming at this price range. But again, these aren't strict numbers. You could play around with these if you want. But generally, you should be aiming at $10 to $30 for 50 to 200k followers. And then comes 200k to 500k. And this is where the prices start to become higher. Usually, you should be aiming at a general category of around $30 minimum to $60 maximum. Again, this isn't strict, so you could play around with it, but I've personally negotiated around $30 minimum to $60 maximum. And I always try to aim towards this price range. But again, if I think a page has a lot of potential, I could go above and beyond. So let's say it's a 400k follower page, but then the engagement rate is crazy high with around 5% or so. And it's actual comments, not just amazing, wow, but it's actual people tagging each other. I might even end up paying them $70 or $80 if they aren't willing to negotiate down. But again, for the majority of the pages, you want to be aiming at this price range. And then after 200 to 500k, it comes 500k plus. And this is where there's a lot of followers for the Instagram page. And I highly recommend that before you reach this level, you want to have a proven product that is already selling well. And I bolded this on purpose here because this is very important. And if you don't follow this, you might end up losing a lot of money. So for 500k plus followers, the price range varies highly. Again, as I mentioned, some niches offer different prices, but generally you should be looking at around $70 to even $200. And I would pay $200 or more for pages with 2 million followers or more. But anything below that, I would always try to negotiate around $100, $150 if it's like 1 million follower page, but generally it should be landing in the $70 to $200. And again, only use these influencers if the product has proven to sell well. You don't want to repeat the mistake I did when I began, which is think that if I jumped right into a 1 million follower page, I could get a bunch of sales right away. And this is how I ended up losing my first $1,000. So you definitely have to look out for this, and I like to think of these as levels, increased by the level. So when you're testing a new product, start at level 1, which is, you could start at level 1 or level 2, which is around 50K to 200K depending on your budget. But go up based on the levels and your budget as well. And again, these prices are all dependent on the engagement rates. I don't even work with any page that has less than 2% engagement rate. And again, watch my previous videos on influencer ads, negotiations, etc. And be sure to download the Instagram caption guide, which is completely free, and the link is in the description below. Again, you want to make sure that you are always negotiating to lower the prices, no matter what they say. Even if a 500 to 200K follower page says $5, you want to see if they can do $3, because in the end, you want the most profits. And the worst thing they can do is say no. So in that case, you can just go with their original price, which is $5. But always be sure to negotiate. But again, you can still trade around these prices if you find potential in the page. And the negotiation strategy, which I usually use, and this is one message that I always send after I've begun talking with them, is usually we pay X amount of dollars for pages with your amount of followers, but for your page exclusively, we're willing to do X amount. And basically, this is a simple message that you can send to your Instagram influencer, which will not only make them reconsider their offer, but it will also make you look as if you're a big company and you have knowledge in this advertising and you work with other pages. So a big thing in e-commerce is you want to always make yourself seem like a big company by using we. Don't do I, because it makes you seem very small. When you do we, there's a psychological effect which makes the other person think that you are a big company. So try sending this message as well to lower the prices of your Instagram post, and be sure to follow these general guidelines. So if you did find value in this video, be sure to hit that like button and let me know down in the comments below what other types of videos I should be making. And also, I'll be going over some subscriber websites and giving you tips. So be sure to post your website's URL down below and let me know why I should be looking over your website. And I'll make a whole series on websites and going over them. See you next time.